He wanted wealth, he wanted power, but he didn't know the price would be his only mother. Watch how greed destroyed everything he loved.
Uche was 22 years old. Slim. Quiet. Intelligent. But poor. He lived in a small house in Lagos with his mother, Mama Ngozi, a woman who had sacrificed everything for him. She sold food in the market. She skipped meals so he could eat. She prayed every night for his success. But poverty is loud. And it whispers dangerous things into young ears. Every day, Uche watched his mates on Instagram. Luxury cars. Designer clothes. Clubs. Champagne. Meanwhile, he couldn't afford decent shoes. And slowly, shame began to grow inside him. One evening, everything changed. 4 of his old secondary school friends returned from travel. Tay. Kunal. Jide. Femi. They arrived in a black luxury SUV. Expensive watches. Gold chains. Designer outfits. They looked like success, they smelled like money, they spoke with confidence. And when they saw Uche, they smiled. But not the kind smile of friendship. The kind smile of temptation. They invited him out that night. Uche hesitated, but curiosity defeated caution. That night changed Uche. Rooftop clubs. Beautiful women. Champagne that cost more than his mother's monthly income. For the first time in his life, he felt important. He felt respected. He felt seen. The girls laughed at his jokes. Waiters addressed him as Sir. And his friends paid for everything. He didn't ask questions. He didn't want to know. Because sometimes, ignorance feels better than truth. A few days later, Tay spoke to him privately. If you want this life permanently, he said, there is a way. Uche's heart raced. What way? Tay didn't answer immediately. He simply said, we're going to Ogun State tonight. And that was when Uche should have walked away. But poverty makes people brave in the wrong direction. He followed them. It was past midnight. The SUV drove through a lonely highway surrounded by forest. Lightning flashed in the sky. Inside the car, Uche sat quietly. Nervous. But excited. He didn't know that sometimes the road to wealth is paved with regret. They arrived at a remote compound in Yoruba land. Candles burned. The air smelled of smoke and something ancient. And standing in the center was Baba Ifa. Baba Ifa looked at Uche deeply. You seek wealth, he said, but wealth requires sacrifice. Uche's heart pounded. What kind of sacrifice? You will know, Baba replied. Then he gave one instruction. Whatever happens, do not cry. If you cry, your mind will never remain the same. Uche nodded that he didn't understand, but he nodded. They wore ritual robes. A mirror was placed in the center. Baba Ifa handed Uche a knife, stabbed the mirror. Uche hesitated, but his friends nodded, encouraging him. So he closed his eyes, and plunged the knife into the mirror. Lightning struck, thunder roared. The mirror shattered, and something changed in the air. The next morning, Uche's phone rang. It was a neighbor. His voice was shaking. Uche, come home, your mother collapsed. Uche's heart stopped. When he arrived, Mama Ngozi was gone. No illness. No warning, just gone. And suddenly, the mirror flashed in his memory. He called Tay. Why didn't you tell me? He screamed. Silence. Then Tay answered calmly. All of us sacrificed someone we loved. That's the price. Uche dropped the phone. The mirror represented his mother.
I break this veil!
He remembered Baba Ifa's warning, do not cry, but how could he not? That woman was his world. He fell to his knees, and he cried, not small tears, but broken tears, the kind that come from the soul, and something inside him snapped. Days later, Uche was seen wandering the streets, talking to himself, laughing, then crying. His clothes were dirty, his hair tangled. He began eating from dustbins in the market, the same market where his mother once sold food. People whispered, that boy went to find money. He found madness. One afternoon, his former friends drove past him. They saw him barefoot, thin, broken. For a second, their faces showed regret, but guilt cannot undo consequences. They drove away. Out of the city, and out of his life. Years passed. Uche was no longer the same boy. He was a shadow. A warning, children ran away from him, adults shook their heads, and sometimes at night. He would whisper, "Mama, forgive me." One rainy evening, confused and unstable, Uche ran onto an express road, headlights flashed. A trailer horn screamed, and in seconds, it was over. He died the way he lived his last years, alone. In the rain, forgotten. Greed is patient, temptation is attractive, but every shortcut has a price. Uche wanted wealth, but he lost his mother, his sanity, his future, his life, and the saddest part, he never truly enjoyed the money. Because some wealth comes with curses too heavy to carry. If this story touched you, let it remind you, no amount of money is worth your soul. Subscribe for more powerful African stories that teach, move, and transform lives, because sometimes the greatest riches are the people who love you.